I'd just like to take a second and welcome you to week 3. This is the third sprint, and this one is called I Am Social Selling. This is the week where we really start playing the game. In the first week, we figured out how to make sure you look good when people are checking you out. And then last week, we talked about figuring out what do you bring to the table, what's your superpower, and who's your ideal client, and what are their needs, and then how do you create some content that's going to connect those things together. It was kind of the core of the serious sales or business relationship. This week, we're going to take it to the next level. This week, we've got some really fun things, and I've got just an outline for you. I'll show this to you right here. What we're going to do is we're going to start really putting the final pieces together so you can play this game. So if we look at the first item here, we've got the leads generation tool. So today's lesson is going to show you how to use our tool to generate leads on a regular, systematic basis so you can start adding high-value leads every single week. And then tomorrow's lesson, we're going to talk about the referral generation tool. What we're going to do in this one is every time you have a meeting with someone, there's an opportunity for you to get referrals. We're going to show you how you can use social media to be able to identify some of their connections that are ideal clients for you. So if you got a meeting with me and we're going to get together and you can do a little bit of pre-work to figure out who I know that is a good lead for you, if I'm saying this all right, then we can put all that together. So you're going to be able to get more leads from your referrals. It's a really awesome lesson. And then over the next 2 days, we actually have five different engagement activities. So one of these you're going to be doing is you're going to be sharing content, creating a content calendar, getting stuff out there, being able to find really high value stuff that is not just that core stuff, but some of the other things that round you out as a human. So things that are going to showcase your credibility and showcase that you're part of the community, and it's going to highlight things that are of interest. Like you got to get kind of I think of it as like playing a song, right? If I play a song, there's more than just 3 notes. Well, last week's lesson, we really talked about the journey of your ideal client. You know, there was maybe that was establishing what I would think of as your motif or as your hook, right? That's going to be the dun 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 dun. Like every time it comes to that part, it comes in there. Well, you've also, to have a song be enjoyable, you can't just hit those 3 notes over and over again. You kind of have to have a larger piece of music. And so this is what we're going to do in these days, is come up with other content that's going to round that out. So as people engage with you and they see their content, it's all in harmony, right? It's not, you know, have you ever played a song and hit the wrong note and just kind of like, we don't want that to happen. And so we want for your overall social presence and the things that you share to be all in harmony with your core message. That's really what we're about here. And then we're going to get, this is basically creates this engine that's going to be running, that's creating all this engagement. And so we've got to start evolving all of the engagement, the social conversations and things like that into a sales conversation. So we're going to talk about 2 things, 2 ways that you really play this game, 2 methods or approaches to be able to use social media for sales. We'll go into that there. And then finally, the very last day of this week is your weekly planning. What we're talking about here is coming up with a schedule that you can execute. So let's say you're going to do social, let's say you say, I'm going to focus on social media for 30 minutes 3 times a week. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to plan out, what am I going to do in each of those 30 minutes? So when the alarm goes off on your calendar and it's now time to do that, you know exactly what you need to do, and you can just get in, you can get it done, and then you can get back to selling or doing the other things like, you know, golf or whatever else is important in your life. So we want to make sure that you can execute this at the level. Some of you are going to say, you know what, I'm going to spend 3 hours a week. Some of you are going to say, I'm going to spend 5 hours a week. Some of you say, I'm only going to spend 30 minutes a week. Either way, you can use this tool to figure out what it is that you need to do, and then you can map that out so that way you are executing consistently and building to a very clear long-term goal. Now, I don't know if you remember, but a long time ago, the very beginning of this, I said, print this out and put it on your desk or somewhere you can see it, and it was the Boss Manifesto. The Boss Social Manifesto is really this mantle of who you are as a boss. And I think now is an appropriate time to talk about it again. The truth is, you now, all of these statements are going to make a lot more sense. And by the end of this week, they're even going to make more sense. And I just want to encourage you to take on this ownership that you are a boss. You may not be the boss of your agency, but you are the boss of your social, and it is going and can work for you. You can move things forward. By the end of this week, you are going to be playing the game. You're going to be executing a social selling strategy week in and week out. If you execute and you do these things, that's going to really grow your book. That's the whole goal of this. And I would say it's just a good time to look back at this and look at these things, see if some of these statements have a little bit more meaning now that you've done some of those lessons, and know that by the end of this week, you will be the ultimate boss of your social media. It'll be working for you. That's our goal this week, is to put all this stuff together and turn it into an actual system that you can execute. So jump in, have some fun this week, be active in the group, come into the Boss Social group on Facebook or LinkedIn. Let us know how it's going, and I wish you the best of luck.